All right, Danielle, Stephanie, we're starting up. Sorry. Wobbly?
It's just a little wobbly.
Oh, that's not good.
Ready? The meeting tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you. Can you please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of silence for all those who sacrificed their ultimate sacrifice of their lives to allow us to serve our country and our town. Thank you. All right. So one item of change on the agenda, it's not actually an agenda item change, but it's part of the resolution change that we have tonight. We are going to have the EAF and the waterfront assessment form, which was prepared by our consultants today. So what I need to do is this afternoon we received the full environmental assessment form and the waterfront assessment form prepared by our consultants. And the board members received this information today and we all reviewed it with this information in hand. And so this is to avoid unnecessary delay in this local law. What this does is allow us to send it up to the county, it allows us to send it to the agricultural and environmental review, and it allows us to send it to the planning boards for review. Because our next meeting is into July 13th, so I don't want to waste 2.5 weeks of review because I want to get this local law out there. We will be setting the public hearing tonight also. Just so you know, put on our website, it's been put up by the clerk and it's circulated for local law and supporting documents of applicable boards of the review or considering this resolution once we pass it. So I just want to make an update, and I need a motion to update the resolution number 52 to add the full environmental assessment form and the waterfront assessment form prepared by our consultants today.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the June 8th, 2026 town board meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 8th, 2026 town board meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I need an authorization to pay the bills, $257,183.38.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And out of those bills, $38,625 is for ambulance service for the month. MVP Healthcare was $95,834.13. And Vanderwater, our attorneys, was $29,488.33. So that's some of the bigger items on that list. Okay, so supervisor updates. So this last 2 weeks, I met with our MS4 coordinators, our engineers on MS4, and I don't know if anybody knows anything about MS4, but the state has been putting more and more regulations on the municipalities for MS4. This is for our retention ponds and water that flows through the town and all those things that the planning board recommend to developers when they build their new sites. We have to yearly report to the state, and they're getting more and more strict on it. We have to do certain reports every year, certain reports every 3 years now, certain reports every 5 years, and it's beyond what just us at the local level can do, so we have to have engineering help us. They're actually requiring review throughout the entire state. The county right now is applying for a grant through the state to do this, because this is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per municipality. So there's also a grant that we can apply for up to July 31st, which our engineering will do for us. We're just holding back a little, because the problem is if we apply for it and we do get the grant, then we have to go with that grant, and we have to do it through them. If we can't use the county then. So, and the county may have more resources than our grant. So I guess got to be careful here. So in the next 2 weeks or so, I have to make a decision here on if we're going to go for our grant or wait for the county. And the county can't give me a date of when they'll know. So that doesn't really, really help. So anyway, we're working on our MS4 stuff. I don't know if anybody noticed this week, but American Cruise Line came in last week. It was the first cruise in June. The town hall was invited to go on the boat this year for a tour. So our department heads and other individuals, Manny came on with us. It was a great little event. Eric DeSole, the president of American Cruise Lines, came down. He's very impressed with our landing and what we've done down there. So they gave us a nice tour of the boat as the people went off to West Point on a tour. So we did that, and they'll be back in July. And talking about that, CSX was supposed to start on the 15th, but the cruise was coming in on the 17th. So even after I told them this for 3 months, so we delayed it to this week, and then today we got rain. So I'm hoping by this week they'll get the new rail crossing parts in, and then they'll give us an update on when they will put in the safety equipment. So there's 3 different teams that work on this. There's the rail tie team that replaces the rail ties. There's a team that comes in after them and does the blacktop and surface. And then there's a team that comes in after them that does the safety equipment. So it's coordinating all those different teams with CSX is a little difficult. But we're moving forward. We're getting there. The hometown hero banners were put up this past week by the Highway Department. We put it out on our Facebook page today, so you could see all the new ones that went up this year. Thank John and his team for doing that every year. Thank Tom and Penny from the building department for continuing to do that for us. So that's a great tribute to our service members. I actually started looking at the budget this week already. I'm starting early this year because it's going to be a tough year. But I'm going to start it independently of my department heads, and then I will start to meet the department heads probably end of August, somewhere in that time frame, to go over what I have proposed, and then they're going to propose what they would like to see. But we have started that. If you haven't seen also, John and the crew of the Highway Department started paving this past week. They did milling last week. They started paving this week. And they got up to about 11 o'clock today, and it got downpoured on, so they had to stop. But you'll be seeing pavement crews out there this week. And I also been coordinating with Paul Ibsen and Jeff Pisano and Mike Rydell from the school to coordinate a Declaration of Independence reading with the students at the school at the July 10th concert series. So we're looking to do it at 6 p.m. under the pavilion. It's going to be the Historical Society. I'm working with Tom Schroeder too, and he's going to have some of the Legion Hall members there. The students, each student will be reading a part of the Declaration of Independence. So if anybody's interested in that, it's going to be on July 10th at 6 p.m. under the pavilion at the concert. And then of course after that, the concert series will start. And that's pretty much all I got this time. So we'll go on to comments on the agenda. Anybody have any comments specifically on the agenda? All right, reports of committees. Nikki, you got a report on the CAC committee?
Hello. Good evening. The June meeting of the CAC focused on questions centering on the entire group, receiving FOIL requests surrounding the recent roundtable for the farmers. Without direct guidance from the board, I was unable to answer their questions about the necessity of legal protections from the town attorney. We hope that such guidance is forthcoming. In the meantime, some of the members have replied to the FOIL officer, and some are waiting for your direction. The EV charging stations are reported to have had 53 charging sessions and 30 unique drivers, so I'm happy to say that they're being used. And we agreed to use July as our summer holiday, and we'll resume meeting on August 13th.
All right, and I did get something back. I did call Hannah today about the request. So basically, it comes down to the CAC is a committee. Personal emails, any kind of personal emails between yourself and a CAC committee member is not covered by our attorneys. Anything that you may have sent to the town hall as a business, so to myself or to say Danielle, of something like that, that they can give some guidance on. But any other guidance on personal emails of that nature, they can't give guidance.
So then I would leave it up to the individual members if
Right.
they were to, that's up to them. That's their personal,
Yeah.
private property.
I mean,
I mean,
it's hard because it's like you're a committee, not an actual employee, and that's what she keeps telling me. It's a little different than board members, like a ZBA member, a planning board member, town board member, are all covered by our agreement with
Right.
Vanderwater and Vanderwater. That's how the agreement was written. So like if something comes to me, now it becomes a town board discussion, so that's covered, right? But if it's you talking to an individual member through your committee, that's not covered by her to give advice, or Vanderwater, I should say, to give advice. So you'd have to ask your personal attorney for advice. It's kind of a weird situation, which I'm getting educated on, because I would think any committee would be covered, but it's not how our agreement was written. So again, that will have to be looked at as we do our new agreement in the future, that all boards and committees should be, get advice on things like this, especially FOIL requests. FOIL requests are tricky, right? Because they're asking for everything and anything, and,
so
you know. But the odd thing is, Mickey, too, is all your emails that are done under the CIC are technically property of the town's FOIL request for the public to access. Just that they can't give you advice as the town of Marlborough attorneys.
And the board is not taking any action to acquire coverage for committee
Not
members?
just
Is
yet.
that something that
We can do it,
in the
but
middle
it-
of the year?
I didn't ask her that question, can we mid-contract do it? But,
Got it.
I mean, I could ask her
Okay,
that.
well,
I mean, what are you, let's have an open discussion about it.
I think
like-
our volunteers should be covered
So-
by, by our attorneys.
Well, I
you
thought
know,
they were,
you
but
know?
yeah, I would think so too. So I mean, what do you
You're
guys
gonna-
think? It's just information. Should our attorneys be given also committee people advice?
Are you allowed to give any information out then if you're not covered?
Well-
I mean, so if that's the case, you don't need to give anything, no information,
Well, they do.
if you're not bound by it.
the way
Yes, they
it
are.
is worded, the way I interpreted the wording of the request, it is very extensive, and it includes, the way I understand it, is, for example, if I sent out to my friends, just to my friends, as the CAC chair, we're having a roundtable for the farmers. If you're interested, please attend and give them the date. That would be me sending, as chair, to, say, 15 people that are just my friends. But that would mean that I'm giving out personal information about my friends to this FOIL request. So I feel a little uncomfortable about giving that.
So
It is
but
FOIL.
even
It would be
if,
redacted.
but yeah, even if Mickey, in this example, right, this is a hypothetical situation, but
Yes.
even in this example, you send that information in, it's still, even though it's from the committee, it's still going to the attorneys and would be redacted before being provided to the requester, correct?
It goes to the town clerk, and then the town
Right.
clerk would then, Danielle, you could explain it better, but she reviews it first before she sends it to the attorney.
I mean, I personally wouldn't be opposed to doing like a Zoom meeting with the attorneys for anyone who wanted to join from the CAC so they could ask their questions.
Yeah. We could do
but-
that.
You know, we limit that to an hour, but give them an hour of time to ask any questions before they fulfill this.
Something, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm still not understanding. So if you're not bond because you're not affiliated with or bonded to us, then why do you have to give this information? It's what I don't understand.
Because
So
there's
you
still a
should-
committee of the town.
Yeah, it's requested, so I don't want to belabor this.
No, well,
I
look, let
totally
me follow up
understand.
with her, see if we could have, like Sherida said, maybe we could have a Zoom meeting or something with the CAC. And if the town board is okay with me asking them to extend our contract to committee members, we can do that too. I mean, I don't have a problem asking that. You want to make a vote on that?
Did we,
Make a
I
motion.
mean, I think we should make that motion, but just before we do that, this is a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
There's no stupid question. No stupid
There are. We asked the attorneys, correct? We verified that as unpaid volunteer committee members, they are even subject to this FOIL request?
Yes, and they are. That's what's kind of confusing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's in itself
They're
is a
committee
little
members
crazy
who
to
are
me.
required to fulfill a FOIL request because they are a committee of the
Mm-hmm.
town. But how our contract is written with Vanderwater, it's separate. It's not a law like, say, a state law. It's our contract, that
Right.
how we've written with Vanderwater, that they don't cover advice for committee members. They only extend it to board members. That's how their contract's written. So if you want to extend it to committee members, we can make a motion to say we extend that to committee members, and I will ask the attorneys to add that to our contract. I could do that too. Because they are bound by a FOIL request.
Yeah.
It covers employees though also, like town employees?
People that physically get a paycheck, yes.
Well, I think that if if that committee is obligated to give
I agree,
FOIL
Manny.
information, then we should cover that.
100%.
I agree.
mean, if they're not, because
Make a
they're
motion,
a
man.
different entity, that if they're not exposed to that kind of, giving up information, then, no, then we should.
Yeah, and as Gail said, and I think Sherida said, everything, personal information and things are looked at. That's what we send out to the attorney. That's why our attorney bill is $29,488 for 1 month. I will say a majority of that is for FOIL requests. So, yes, they do look at that. But even so, I mean, Danielle could tell you, not everything is redacted, right? On personal information.
Personal phone numbers, personal email. But if someone uses their personal email for town business.
Yeah, so not everything is redacted.
So,
Got it. So my personal email would then be not redacted, even though I'm using my personal email address.
I'll have to double check, but
Okay.
Signatures aren't either, which is kind of odd.
I think that, I just had that question.
Okay.
And we learned a lot about FOIL requests in the last year.
And then we wonder why people don't want to volunteer. It's a sad world we live in.
But no, I mean, if you guys make a motion, I will ask.
I will make the motion to extend the Vanderwater agreement to cover the CAC for the purposes of this specific FOIL request.
And all volunteer committees, correct?
You want to make it all volunteer?
Yeah,
that's
the
fine.
Milton Landing, I mean, there's
I
multiple
agree.
committees,
I agree.
you know?
I'm still having clarity issue there. So
I would second that, but I just.
so why do we ask Hannah if she has her personal emails and to doing this committee, or they're obligated to do this FOIL request? And now if they're obligated, then yes, we should cover them. But if they're not
course.
obligated, why are we
They are
wasting this
obligated.
time?
I said that. They are obligated.
They are obligated.
Again, they are a committee of the town of Marlborough. They are obligated
Even
by
though-
FOIL request laws to give the information. What they are not protected is, we have a contract with Vanderwater and Vanderwater, right, that doesn't extend to committees. That's how our contract's written. It has nothing to do with law. It's just how our contract is written. If the town board chooses to extend that to committee members, we just make a motion like we did, and I ask our attorneys to extend it to committee members. But currently, our contract doesn't say that. So that's why, look, our attorneys are very thorough. They're not going to do something that they're not supposed to do. So that's why they're saying they don't want to give advice, because it's not in our contract.
Even that they don't have a town's email.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Personal emails
I
Personal emails are not protected, Manny. They're not protected.
No, that not that I understand they're not protected, but I don't think they're obligated to be given the FOIL.
Well, then you're going to have to go talk to the New York State Attorney General, because that's the law of the land. I can't change the FOIL request laws.
Maybe if you use a personal email and conduct town business through it, it is FOIL. Your personal email is FOIL. Same rules apply. If I take my personal cell phone and take a crime scene picture and it goes to court, they have now, or I have now given them full access to everything on my phone. They can
Yeah.
see my entire phone. Not just for the picture that I took, but they'll have access to everything.
Even though they're not getting paid as town employees. I have a hard time believing that. Maybe you're right. I just have a hard time believing it, that's
I
all.
don't think FOIL law dictates whether they get paid or not. The personal contract that the lawyer does.
Well,
FOIL law doesn't care if you get
I am not talking about the FOIL. I'm not talking about the lawyers. I understand how their contract read. I'm just saying that I have a hard time believe that they're obligated by law for their personal contact, even though they're not town employees and they're conducting a meeting, to divulge all their information that they'd be sharing. And I don't think that's true. In my personal opinion.
It is true, no matter what your personal opinion
If
is.
I use my personal email to respond to anybody or anything, and it gets FOIL, they don't get all my personal emails. They get that particular email with whatever email address I send it from.
That's the question.
Well, I thank you
What
for
I
your
think.
motion, I thank you for your second, and whatever happens, I will just let my committee
No,
members know.
I'll let you know by tomorrow, because I'll just, so I have a motion, and I have a second by Gail. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All against? All right, so moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody, Manny, if you have any more questions, I would definitely tell you to sit down with Danielle for 20 minutes, because she's been dealing with FOIL requests now for over a year, and she could probably educate the whole county on FOIL requests. It's the law.
It also, Manny, if you,
Expensive education.
Go ahead, AI it right now.
if you,
It'll tell you
if
that,
you
even if
just
you're not
Google it
even
right
if
now,
you're not a
it very
member of
does,
the town,
very
you're
clearly
FOIL.
does tell you that.
What's that?
I said, if you Google it right now, it'll
Yeah.
take you to the New York State website, where it very clearly does say it applies to committee members.
Yeah. To committee members, anything that the committee members...
Every New York
can-
State or municipal department, board, bureau, division, commission, committee, public authority, public corporation, council, office, or other government entity. And that's who is subject to the Freedom of Information Law.
So what's FOIL?
Okay.
It's
Sorry.
FOIL. Anyway, let's not belabor it. We'll find out for you, Mickey, but thank you. And do we have a report from the Recreation Committee?
I don't-
A little bit?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything new to report from the Rec Committee, but Dave, certainly jump in here. Concerts are kicking off, as you just said. Beginning of July, they actually kick off the week after July 4th, so it's the 10th is the first one. Just piggybacking on what you said about the reading of the Declaration of Independence, the Rec Committee is also working on getting a live singer to sing the national anthem at the beginning of each concert in honor of the 250th. I think Colleen's doing a story on the concerts very soon in the newspaper. And the committee is actually already looking forward and working on the Halloween trunk or treat next.
Trunk or treat? Oh, God,
Yeah,
it's like
crazy, right?
Halloween already? Well, it is half the year already, right? So, all right, perfect. All right, any other committee reports?
The marketing committee sent out a survey via the town social media and text deployment about interest in different types of businesses coming to Marlborough. So if you haven't seen that, you can find it on the town social media sites or back in your text, but as many responses to that as possible would be great just for informational purposes as they create a mission statement and go forward.
Perfect. Thank you. That's good. All right. Anybody else? None? Dave, none? All right, new business or old business? Anybody have any new or old business that they want to discuss tonight? If not, I'm going to go into correspondence. Correspondence, all right? All right. This is honorable town board members. The Marlborough Hose Company number 1 is requesting the use of the town community center on the 19th of December 2026 for its annual Christmas party after the Santa Run. Facility use application has been submitted for approval. We are also asking that the rental fee be waived. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Marlborough Hose Company number 1, President Thomas Coupart. And it looks like it's available. I got the sign off here that it's available. So I just need a motion to waive the fees for the Marlborough Hose Company number 1 for the December 19th Christmas party.
I'll make a motion to waive the fees for the Marlborough Hose Company for the Christmas party.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I got this letter today from Sarah and Timothy Higgins from Raspberry Field Farms. Dear Supervisor Corcoran, this letter follows up the Town Board's June 8th discussion of the proposed farm venue events local law. Raspberry Fields Farm LLC has been in dialogue with the town since receiving violation number C2025-026 dated June 16, 2025. We have since reviewed the proposed local law text introduced at the meeting. We would like to be part of this process as it continues so that we have a clear sense of how to move forward. We operate from an original summer kitchen of our 1870 farmhouse, now a licensed commercial kitchen, certificate number 244697. We have produced granola and cookies there under our Ags and Market license since December 2009. We are not an active agricultural operation, though our property sits within an agricultural zone. Our property carries real historical significance to the Marlborough town. The farmhouse dates to 1870, and we have spent years carefully preserving the structure and character. We believe our historic homestead adds to and reflects the growing importance of local tourism in Marlborough. We hope to add small events and gatherings to our operation. One event per weekend with fewer than 25 guests from the end of May through the end of October. As the board continues to shape this local law, we would like to understand what we would need to do in order to hold small gatherings on the grounds of our historic homestead. We respectfully request that this letter be read on the record at the town board meeting on Monday, June 22nd, and entered into the correspondence to the board. And that's sincerely Sarah and Timothy Higgins, Raspberry Field Farm, LLC. All right, so I've spoken to Sarah and Timothy a few times on the phone and in person, and again, depending on what type of events and how the law comes, they may or may not have to go for a site plan. Just depends on what type of events. As we have in our law, it dictates what type of events are going to trigger it and what type of events don't. So I believe if they're marketing it towards what they're producing, they probably wouldn't have to do it. But if it's doing it for, I don't know, a graduation party at their site, then maybe that would trigger it. So again, I asked them to come to our public hearing and speak, and they said they will, so that would be good. So, all right. So that's good information. Anybody got any public comments? This is the time for public comments. Anybody got public comments? If none, we're going to go right to Resolution 52.
Yes.
All right. Resolution 52 to set a public hearing and various referrals. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas at the regular meeting on June 8, 2026, the Town Board of the Town of Marlborough, the Town Board introduced a proposed local law to be known as the Local Law of the Town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, amending Section 134-2, definitions, amending Section 155-1, terms defined, amending Section 155-12, use regulations, amending Section 155-31, site plan review, and amending Section 155-31O, minor site plan review of the Code of the Town of Marlborough to regulate farm venue events. The proposed local law, and whereas the text of the proposed local law remains unchanged and is annexed hereto at Exhibit A, and this is all online, so you could get that straight online. Whereas the Town Board acknowledges the prohibition contained in Agricultural and Markets Law, AML, Section 305, and that a municipality shall not unreasonably restrict or regulate farm operations within agricultural districts in contravention of the purpose of Article 25-8A. And the Town Board has found that the proposed local law is at least restrictive means of achieving the town's planning objectives and does not unreasonably restrict farm operations within agricultural districts. And whereas the Town Board determined on June 8, 2026, that the proposed local law is a Type 1 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, and 6 NYCRR Part 617.4B2, and as the only involved agency, the Town Board is designated as the lead agency for SECRA review purposes pursuant to Section 6 NYCRR Section 617.2 T and V. And whereas at the direction of the Town Board, the town consultants have prepared a full environmental assessment form, FEAF Part 1, pursuant to SECRA for the Town Board review and consideration, annexed hereto in Exhibit B, again, which will be online. Whereas the town consultants prepared a waterfront assessment form, WAAF, pursuant to Town of Marlborough Code, the Code Local Waterfront Revitalization Program, LWRP, for the Town Board's review and consideration, annexed hereto, Exhibit C, again, which will be online. And the Town Board will make the policy consistency determination pursuant to Code Section 99-7I1-13 prior to the adoption of the proposed local law. Therefore, it be resolved the Town Board has reviewed the FEAF Part 1 and the WAF and ratifies the supervisor execution of the documents and findings contained therein. Be it further resolved that pursuant to Code Section 155-49, the Town Board directs the Town Clerk to refer the proposed local law to the Town of Marlborough Planning Board for review and comment. Be it further resolved that the pursuant of General Municipal Law Section 239M, the Town Board directs the Town Clerk to refer the proposed local law to Ulster County Planning Board for review and comments. Be it further resolved, the Town Board directs its consultants to prepare FEAF's Parts 2 and 3 for its consideration. Be it further resolved that pursuant to Town Law Section 264 and Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York, a duly noticed public hearing will be held in relation to the proposed local law, set forth in the form notice hereinafter provided, in which hearing parties of interest and citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard. The public hearing will be held at the Town Hall, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, 1257, on July 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m., or as soon as thereafter may be heard. And the notice of said meeting shall be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in the Town of Marlborough by the Town Clerk at least 10 days prior to such hearing, and the notice shall be in the following form. Notice of public hearing. Take notice that the Town Board of the Town of Marlborough will hold a public hearing at the Town Hall facilities at 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, on July 13th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. prevailing time on proposed local law of the year number 2026, the local law of the Town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, amending Section 134-2, definitions, amending Section 155-1, terms defined, amending Section 155-12, use regulations, amending Section 155-31, site plan review, and amending Section 155-31O, minor site plan review of the Code of the Town of Marlborough to regulate farm venue events. Take further notice that copies of Aforesaid proposed local law will be available for examination at the office of the clerk of the town of Marlborough, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, 12547, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on all business days between the date of this notice and the date of the public hearing. Take further notice that all citizens and parties of interest shall have an opportunity to be heard on said proposal at the time and place aforesaid. And that Danielle's got to sign that. Be it further resolved that at least 10 days prior to the date of the public hearing, the town clerk shall provide written notice of the public hearing to the Ulster County Planning Board and adjacent municipalities and counties within 500 feet of the town of Marlborough boundary pursuant to New York State Law Section 264-2 and Code Section 155-50B. And the foregone resolution was duly put to vote, which resulted in follows.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes.
Councilman Abdullah?
Yes.
Councilman Cowkey?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa?
Yes.
All right. Manny, you're up.
Okay, it's 7:37, and I make a motion to adjourn.
Need a second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so move. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.